Excellent. Here is the complete English translation of all 3 chapters. 1-3 in narrative audiobook style. Preserving every emotional beat and line of pacing from the Japanese and Korean versions. Each paragraph flows naturally for long-form narration or subtitled storytelling. Chapter 1, The Reunion. Drenched in blood. Mom, help me, at least save the baby. That faint, broken voice made me look up. And what I saw made me doubt my own eyes. The figure standing in front of my shop wasn't human. Her whole body was covered in bruises. Her thin frame trembling as if it might crumble at any second. It was my daughter, Han Se-eun. My heart dropped with a thud. Se-eun, what happened? Who did this to you? I shoved the door open and ran out, knocking over shelves as I went. When I pulled her into my arms, she howled like a wounded animal, collapsing against me. At that moment, I heard the sound of my own world collapsing. Everything I had built with my hands gone. But I didn't know yet that the tears of blood my daughter shed that night would become the signal for a long and merciless war. I carried her into the small room at the back of the shop. Afraid the cold market floor might seep into her body, I tore off my coat and laid it beneath her. The old electric blanket buzzed as I plugged it in. And when I covered her, I realized there wasn't a single uninjured spot left on her body. Her arms were swollen and purple. Her lips cracked, stuck together with dried blood. When I wiped her face with a warm towel, a faint moan escaped her. Mom. That one word tore my heart apart. Just a few days ago, she had called, laughing. The baby's kicking. It feels amazing. How could that same daughter now lie in my arms like this? Where's your husband, Se-eun? Where's Jang Do-yeon? Even saying his name made my skin crawl. Half a year ago, I thought I'd found happiness at last. A son-in-law who seemed perfect. A future where my daughter would never cry again. He had walked into my market stall that day in a neat suit, carrying an elegant basket of fruit. Mother, he'd said politely, I promise Se-eun will never shed a single tear. Please allow me to make her the happiest woman in the world. And I believed him. I had worked all my life selling side dishes at the market, raising my daughter alone after her father died. My only wish had been simple, that she'd live a life of love, not hardship. But that man, that demon, took everything from her. As my daughter slept fitfully, I touched her forehead. Don't worry, my dear. Mom will handle it now. Something inside me broke open, or perhaps awoke. A name I had buried long ago rose again from the dark. Ra-hee. Once, they called me Ra-hee of Cheonggye. A woman who built an empire in the shadows. Men's greed had been my weapon and my ruin. That night, I became her again. I picked up my old phone and dialed a number I hadn't touched in 10 years. 2 rings, then a sleepy voice answered. Hello? It's me, I said, my tone like steel. Ra-hee. And at that moment, the humble market woman Choi Mi-jung died. And Ra-hee of Cheonggye came back from the grave. Mr. Park, I said, my daughter's been destroyed by a man named Jang Do-yeon. A long pause, then his voice turned sharp. Yes, Madam President. Give the order. Cut off his heir, his money, his power, his name. Erase him. That night, one by one, the lights of the marketplace went out. And in the dark, my revenge began. Chapter 2, The beginning of revenge. The breath severed. Before dawn, the air was sharp like glass. I stood by the window, watching the faint light seep through the alleys. In it, I saw the shadow of my shop, and the stain of my daughter's blood still glistening. My phone vibrated. Madam President, the investigation is complete. Mr. Park's voice was calm and precise. Speak. Jang Do-yeon, a fraud hiding behind the mask of a businessman. His accounts have been frozen for 3 years. His company, Ryan Holdings, is a shell. Illegal casinos overseas, underground loans, gambling debts. His liabilities exceed 1.8 billion won. I placed my coffee cup down slowly. So I was right. And the funds you lent him, they all went to pay those gambling debts. My blood boiled. He used my money to destroy my daughter. Prepare everything, I ordered. Cut every wire he clings to. Let him choke on his own breath. Yes, madam. That single reply marked the beginning of our quiet war. At that same moment, in the basement of a luxury residence in Gangnam, Jang Do-yeon lit a cigarette with trembling hands. His wife's face haunted him, but pride still ruled him. "She'll crawl back. She always does," he muttered. He still thought the world bent around him. He adjusted his tie in the mirror. "Just get through today," he told himself. But when he reached his car, something was off. The door wouldn't open. No matter how many times he pressed the key fob, nothing happened. A tow truck rolled into the garage and stopped in front of him. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" The driver held out a paper. "Are you Mr. Jang Do-yeon? This vehicle's been repossessed due to unpaid installments." "That's impossible. I've never missed a payment." "The contract changed last night," the driver replied flatly. The creditor filed immediate seizure. He could only watch as his luxury car was dragged away. When he tried to make a call, his phone displayed a cold message. "Service suspended, 3 months unpaid." What is this? His knees gave out. Then came a single message tone. "Sender unknown. The game has just begun." He froze. Who are you? He didn't know that the one tightening the noose was none other than his mother-in-law, Choi Mi-jung, once known as CEO Ra-hee of Cheonggye. Meanwhile, I received Mr. Park's report. First stage complete. Vehicle seized, cards blocked, phone service terminated. He's completely cut off. Good. Next? We're applying pressure on his financial backers. By morning, every guarantor will abandon him. I smiled faintly. This is only the beginning. Let him see how far he can fall. Understood, madam. By dawn, his world will be ashes. That night, I opened my daughter's door quietly. She was asleep, her fever easing. Her breathing was shallow but peaceful. I held her hand and whispered, "Se-eun, it's over now. You don't need to cry anymore." A vow formed in my chest. The man who made my daughter bleed will crawl before me. Next morning, madam, all his accounts are frozen. Loan sharks are hunting him. He can't enter his own home. Well done. Now take what he values most. His family? Not yet. The old woman is innocent. Let her live until he tastes true despair. And the message? Send it. What shall I say? Tell him CEO Ra-hee is back. By nightfall, his empire had vanished. Banks closed his accounts. His office was sealed. Friends refused his calls. Sorry, man, I can't get dragged into this. Click. The world went silent. Then came another message. Hard to breathe? Now you know what you did to my daughter. He hurled the phone at the wall. The shattered screen showing one final line. The end is far away. At that same hour, I turned off the lights in Mi-jung's side dishes. One by one, the bulbs went dark. Inside me, Ra-hee opened her eyes completely. Jang Do-yeon, your last breath is near. I dialed again. Mr. Park. Proceed. Yes, madam. The final account will vanish by dawn. Good. The last move I'll handle myself. Outside, the fog was rising. And within it, the fire of my vengeance began to burn. Chapter 3: The Final Confrontation in a New Life. Jang Do-yeon's fall came quietly, too quietly. Money, friends, reputation all gone. 2 days ago he was dining on wine and steak. Now he was begging at a motel counter for coins. Cash only, sir. Do you have it? I said I don't. His pockets yielded only crumpled receipts. Police came, collectors called. Each one stripping another piece of him away. Fear replaced arrogance. For the first time, he understood. The worst death is to be forgotten. That night, the door to a dim apartment opened. A man in a black trench coat stepped inside. Mr. Park. Mr. Jang, long time no see. Who are you? Miss CEO Ra-hee, or should I say, Choi Mi-jung sent me. At her name, color drained from his face. She's coming here? Yes. I suggest you wait. Then came the sound of heels. Click, click, click. Each step echoed like a countdown. The door opened slowly. A woman stood there, silver hair tied neatly back. Her gaze sharp and calm. Once, she was Ra-hee of Cheonggye. Now, she was simply Choi Mi-jung, the market woman whose kindness he had mistaken for weakness. It's been a while, son-in-law. Her voice was void of anger. Almost serene, and that made it terrifying. He stumbled backward. Mother, wait. It's not what you think. You just beat my daughter, stole my money, and nearly killed my grandchild. Right? Her words cut the air like blades. He went silent. She approached, holding a brown envelope. Do you know what this is? He shook his head. It's the mortgage you secretly took out using this house. Last night, the debt transferred to me. She threw it in his face. This house is mine now. You have nowhere left to crawl. He dropped to his knees. Madam, please forgive me. She gave a cold laugh. Forgive you? You shattered my child and asked me for mercy? The room froze. Then she whispered, I won't dirty my hands with your blood. The world will make you pay. She turned to the door. Mr. Park. Yes, madam. End it. Those 2 words were enough. Mr. Park bowed. Yes, ma'am. That night, Jang Du-yun vanished. No one ever saw him again. His name disappeared from the news, from memory, from the world. Days later, morning sunlight filled the empty market. Mi Jung's side dishes closed for the last time. The old sign creaked as she covered it with cloth. It's over, she whispered. This light ends today. She went to her daughter's room. Se-eun sat by the window, holding her belly. Mom, is it really over? Yes, Mi Jung said softly, brushing her hair. It's all done. Now think only of your child. Tears welled in Se-eun's eyes. Mom, I want to sing again. Then sing. Start over with your voice. And I've decided on a name for the baby. What name? Min Seo. Emin for light. Seo, from Ra-hee. Mi Jung's eyes trembled. Se-eun smiled. You protected me, Mom. This child will carry your strength. Mi Jung pulled her into an embrace. There were no tears left, only warmth. Inside her arms, a new life breathed quietly. A light born from endless darkness. Months later, in a small town outside Seoul, behind a white fence and blooming garden, laughter and a baby's cry mingled in the breeze. Morning birdsong, afternoon sunlight, evening lullabies. Peace had returned. Mi Jung had lived with 2 names. Seo Ra-hee, the woman of power and vengeance. Choi Mi Jung, the mother of love and sacrifice. Now those names became one. Grandmother of Min Seo. Whenever someone called her that, she smiled because that was who she truly was. One spring afternoon, beneath a shower of cherry blossoms, Se-eun asked, Mom, is it really finished? Yes. You don't hate him anymore? No. Hate and revenge are names I left behind. They belong to my younger days. She looked up at the sky. All I have left now is love. And this child. Se-eun sat beside her, watching her baby sleep. The wind stirred, and white roses swayed in the garden. Mi Jung plucked one bloom, and placed it beside the baby's head. Seo Ra-hee's era is over, she whispered. Now begins Min Seo's world. And she smiled. The first true smile of a mother reborn.